chaos, brick by brick.
Welcome to Built from Chaos with Michael Tandoy. You know, I'm in my new studio right now, and I got to tell you, I'm extremely excited to be able to work down here. This was a movie theater that I built back when I bought the house in 2015. It was an open space. And during my incarceration, when I was in prison for those 7 years, I couldn't ever hear the TV. I mean, imagine this. You're in prison. The TV's like 10 feet in the air, so it's all the way up so that you can't reach any buttons. It's boxed in with plexiglass, and then it's got a bunch of little screws, like holes, so that it muffles the voice out. So for the entire incarceration, I could never hear any music or anything because I can't hear as it is. So like when I'm driving my car and I got my sound system on, it's got to be all the way up or I can't hear it. Okay, my mother tells me all the time I'm deaf. But when I came home and I had this room, I'm like, wait a second. I need like a movie theater down here. Like this is what I need because I can get the movie theater set up and there will never be a problem hearing my TV set ever again. So that's what I did. And I put like an amazing sound system in, and when you hear the gunshots in the hood, the all right, you can feel it. Okay, so this is going to be our new studio. We're going to have a bunch of backdrops. We're going to have Built from Chaos podcast. I believe that my daughter's going to start her own little brand, Gianna Tandoy. She's been practicing all week. And this Friday night, I was in Tampa, and she calls me up, and she says, Dad, I've got my girlfriend Bianca over, and we want to film a podcast. I said, okay. I said, well, how are you going to film it? And this is 10:30 at night. She goes, you got to call Mark. So I call Mark up on a 3-way FaceTime so that my daughter can ask him, so that if he says no, he's not saying no to me. He's saying no to his sister. Right? He's saying no to Gianna. So she says, Mark, I need a favor. And he's like, what's that? I need you to come to my house right now because me and my girlfriend want to film a podcast. And Mark says to me, he goes, Tandoy. He goes, are you serious right now? Like, you really want me to go to your house? I says, Gianna's asking, and she wants you to go to the house. So yeah, I want you to go to the house. I'll cash app you $100, just get it done. And my daughter says, no, I'll pay him $50. And when he edits the video and he's done with it and I get it back, I'll give him the other $50. But I don't need you to pay for this, Daddy. I got this, right? So this is an 11-year-old kid negotiating a contract with the guy that's going to record it right now, okay? So he went there. The girls had a blast. I have not seen any of the video yet. I'm looking forward to seeing the video. I'm going to have to call Bianca's mother and father. I probably should have did that like a couple days ago, but I didn't. But we're good family friends. And I got to figure out if I can even post this stuff that they're making. I got to figure out what the rules are. So I don't really know yet. But anyways, we've got a big week coming up. And we just filmed at my studio in Pittsford. And when we were walking in the parking lot, me and Mark, I says, let's go to my house. Let's get a little bit more, a little more filming going on. I'm feeling really good today. And, it's starting to sprinkle out, so I can't really go measure any work right now. I got Gary out there doing what he's got to do. So let's go back and let's do another podcast, Mark. Because this is a huge week right now. We are going to California. We're going to LA. We're going to be in the LA Times book fair, and my agent that's working with me is Reader's Magnet. And because of Reader's Magnet, they gave me the opportunity to be a part of the absolute largest book fair in the world. It doesn't get any bigger. And our goal is to go there and find a person that's looking for us, right? Because although I'm looking for somebody, there's somebody out there right now looking for me. And we're hoping through the grace of God that we meet that somebody, because we want to take this to the next level. For those of you who are following me right now, remember something. This is the beginning stages. So, we're doing a lot of, practice runs and whatnot. We just upgraded all our film cameras for our local productions. Once a month, I'm going to be out in West Palm Beach with my guy Gino, and we're going to be filming Built from Chaos West Palm Boca Edition, and it's going to be an amazing opportunity to be working side by side with a guy that I've always looked up to, from a guy that's always been an inspiration to me. And the story that we're going to tell is going to be so blown through chaos that it's going to really capture the attention of that many more viewers, because we're going to be able to double team it, and I'm going to have somebody that I can conversate with, and Gino is going to be able to have a conversation with me, and it's just going to be such an amazing opportunity because we both have lost everything. We both today are family people. Gino's got a beautiful wife, 2 beautiful children, and everything he does with his family. And but he's got a past, and we're going to share it. We're going to tell all kinds of wild stories beyond your wildest imagination. We're going to be telling you guys a lot of raw stuff, in constant hope that it just saves one person, right? If it saves hundreds of thousands of people, God bless. But if by us passing our story around and there's some inspiration out there and somebody's getting something from this and they change their path and they start on that road of righteousness and they're doing the right thing and they're changing their life, then that's the constant prayer for what I'm doing right now. And when Gino's sitting by my side and I'm sitting by his side, we're equal, and we both believe in the same thing. Like, we've been in the same spot. So I think you guys are going to love our West Palm Boca edition. It's going to be sponsored by Blue Moon Marketing, and we've got Gold Coast Podcasting that's going to be doing all our film work out there, and it's going to be an amazing opportunity. So I just wanted to let everybody know that this is what's going on in today's life. And look, here's the thing about social media, guys. If you look at my video and you really like it, but you don't like it, you're not helping nobody out, right? So like, when you watch my podcast, hit the like button, hit the share button, because you never know if somebody that's connected to you, that's not connected to me, needs to hear something that I'm saying. We just don't know. So if you guys are watching my page, start to share my pages, start to share my channels. We're just starting out on YouTube, so we've got some learning curves to do on the YouTube channel and whatnot. So be patient with us with that, but we're working towards, being able to, mainframe all this to YouTube. But we're on Instagram every day. We're on Facebook every day. We're on TikTok every day, to name a few. We just started our own Spotify channel. So if you type in Michael Tandoy Built from Chaos, it'll show up on Spotify. So when you're driving your car or whatnot, and you can share it with a friend that might need to hear something. So don't be afraid to hit the like button, love the like button, share it with your friends, and just pass this on so that we can get into more homes and in front of more people in our communities. I just want everybody to know, I feel so blessed to be alive today. I feel so blessed to be alive today that I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I was super excited that it was going to be my first day back to the gym in the morning at 6 a.m. When I got off the plane yesterday, I had to go to the gym at 4:30, and Ivan made it possible for me. So that was awesome to be able to do that yesterday. But this morning, I wanted to be at the gym a half hour early. I wanted to cook my lunch, I wanted to cook my breakfast, and I wanted to take my shower, and I wanted to brush my teeth, and I wanted to get out of the house by 5 so that I could be at the gym at 5:30 so I could do my 20 minutes worth of cardio and 10 to 15 minutes worth of ab work before my actual 6 a.m. workout starts. So I did that because I feel good today. Yesterday was Sunday, or on Sunday, yesterday was Monday, but on Sunday, I left the poker run in Tampa, and I could have stayed at the hotel that everybody was at, but I decided to leave there, and I went to the Hard Rock in Tampa, not to gamble. I didn't play one hand of cards. I didn't put $1 in a slot machine. I didn't play anything. I didn't do slots, nothing. I went there because I wanted to be able to be at the pool, and they have these chairs that are like a quarter way in the water and out of the water. And I laid there from 11 o'clock in the morning till 5, it was like 4:45 at night when I decided to go back to my hotel and take a shower and relax a little bit. But I did that because I had to focus on my upcoming week. You know, and a lot of times in today's society, in today's world, we don't get that opportunity to get 4 or 5 hours on a Sunday to ourselves, complete silence. I had a beautiful reggaeton band playing in the background. They had their drums out there, they were singing, and it was at a nice volume. I could hear it clear, and I was just able to get into a nice space. And I sat there all day, and I thought about, you know, what's going to happen in California? What do we got to do in California? And the same answer kept coming over and over and over. Just stay focused, just stay focused, and just stay focused. You know, so as much as I would love to have somebody come with me to California to experience this with me, okay, I'm bringing my camera guy, who's my son, Mark, and the two of us, between the two of us, we're going to stay completely focused. And we're going to find that certain somebody that we're looking for. You know, I want to do a Netflix series. I want to do a show on TV. I want to get interviewed by one of the biggest talk shows in the world. Like, I want to be able to get my story out there to help other people. I've lived a lot of lives. And today, not last year, not 6 months ago, not 3 months ago, not 2 years ago, not 5 years ago. Never in my life have I ever been more ready than I am today to take on this task, to do this for my community, to do this for the world, to do this for people that need it, where I can give back something and make a difference for the right reason. You know, so that's what the mission statement is. You know, we want to do this for the right reason, for other people to get away from being sick, so that there's not another kid that needs to get Narcan tonight. You know, that there's not another kid that has an OD tonight, and a loving mother and a loving father and a loving brother and a loving sister doesn't have the opportunity to speak to them ever again, because on Wednesday of next week they're going to put them 6 feet under, okay, if they can afford it. If not, they're just going to burn the ashes or whatever it is, okay? But that's it. It's lights out. You know, so like we take life for risk. We take too much out of life sometimes, where we believe that we're indestructible. And because of that, we make poor decisions. And when we make the poor decisions and we're using drugs, it's really bad. I met a girl, it was Saturday night. We were at the rooftop lounge hanging out, and I'm sitting there drinking my bottle of water. I'm hanging out, socializing with the team of people that I'm with. And we met some girls, and the one lady was a mother, right? And the other girlfriend was just a girlfriend, okay? But the mother made it a point to tell me that, you know, she's an amazing mom, and when she goes out on Friday or Saturday nights every once in a while, she likes to, you know, just have a little bit extra fun. And she was actually looking for cocaine from me. I don't know, do I look like a drug dealer? I don't know. Here I am sitting, drinking a bottle of water, and I got to be the drug dealer, right? So she says that she was looking for powder. So I says to her, I says, well, look, you're looking at the wrong spot, because I don't do drugs. I don't sell drugs. I do nothing with drugs. I said, but I got to ask you a question. You just got done telling me how amazing of a mother you are. You're not afraid that, you know, you buy a bag of cocaine that's laced with fentanyl, or now there's this new stuff called track or something like that, and it's supposed to be cheaper to purchase, and it's supposed to be more potent than fentanyl. Okay, so now we were afraid of the fentanyl. Now there's something new that's coming out to the street, right? So now, what if you take that one little bag and that one little line, and you do a line and you OD tonight? What kind of mother does that make you, right? That's a mother who just OD'd, right? So like, if I die from cancer, or I die from a heart attack, or I die from a car accident, or if I die from, you know, something else, you know, that's, you know, hey, you know, not for nothing, Tando was a great guy. He, you know, he had a heart attack. He died, God rest his soul. But when you die from an OD, it's a different conversation, you know? Ah, he was a great guy, you know, but he OD'd, right? And it's a different category of death. And it's a death that we should not be proud of, right? Because we need to fight every single day so that we can be alive, so that we can live life. Once you accept the fact that this world isn't perfect, it's not. We've got a lot of fuckery going on right now in the world, okay? But life was never meant to be easy. Life was meant to have challenges so that when you accomplish something, there's a reward there or whatnot. The promise wasn't life was easy. The promise is I'm going to make it worth it at the end of the day, right? So if you don't give up and you continue to fight and you level up, you'll never get left behind. You'll keep prospering every single day. You know, there's like life is with seasons. And sometimes certain people are for a season. Sometimes they're for a lifetime. You know, I did an episode a week ago. I was talking about family. Family needs to stick together, right? I wasn't born into a family because of choice. That's a family that I was born into. You know, I didn't get to choose, okay, I want this to be my brother. I want this to be my other brother. I want that to be my mom, that to be my dad. That's not what happened. I got born into a family. So these are the people that you have to figure out. They're living with you. You're living with them. You got to figure out how to live together where you guys can show each other love and compassion and strength and be able to coach each other and support each other and be each other's cheerleaders, right? You know, it breaks my heart when I see families that don't talk to each other. I used to date this girl back before I went away, and for 3-4 months she would fight with her mother, and then they wouldn't talk for like 4 or 5 months, and then she would make up with her mother, and then a week later she would get into an argument with her father, and then she would go 4, 5, 6 months without talking to her father. And I used to say to her, like, how do you go 3, 4, 5 months without talking to your parents? My mother calls me at 7 o'clock in the morning. As soon as she wakes up, she calls me up and says, what do you want for dinner tonight, sweetheart? You know, like today. Yeah, Ma, what do you want for dinner? I want chicken breasts, chicken thighs. I don't care. Something chicken. Anything chicken. I don't want no more steak this week. I don't want no more fish this week. I want chicken. Okay? So that's what she's doing. But like, I couldn't imagine not talking to my mom for 3, 4, 5 months at a time. You know, before you know it, we die. And if we die before we get to say our goodbyes, it's not a happy death. You know, we can make this a better place. You just gotta, you know, figure things out. You know? So I talk to my family. We're a family. We're just a family. You know, and I think that's what family's for. You know? I got a brother. I want to beat his ass all the time. You know? But at the end of the day, I still want to love him. You know, I got into an argument with him last week, and when I came home on Monday, he came running up to me, gave me the biggest hug, a big smile, gave me a kiss, and he said, I love you. And before I left, he probably told me to fuck off, right? You know, but that's just, you know, sometimes you need time. And, you know, I love my brother, you know, so I don't know. I felt that it was special when he came up to me, you know. So look at, if anybody is struggling with anything, you guys can reach out to my inbox on Facebook or Instagram, or you can text me on my cell phone. If you don't have that number, you can call my office at Tandoy Asphalt and Seal Coating. Okay. We have the opportunity this month that since we're at the LA Times and in California at the Southern University of California, if you guys want to purchase my book, you can go on Amazon.com and you can purchase my book. It's The Man I Was Destined to Be. You don't even have to type in my name. The book will come right up, and it can be delivered to your house tomorrow morning. And you know, I get letters all the time from guys that are incarcerated. You know, when they get out, they'll write me, they'll find me on Facebook, and they'll send me a message. Or their loved ones that bought the book and sent it into a prison, they'll write me a message about the book and about the feedback that they've been getting from their son or their husband or whatnot. You know, and I get messages all the time on Facebook of people reaching out to me, you know, last week I had to talk to a kid that got suspended from high school. He was on a 5-day suspension for smoking weed, and the mother called me up and says, Mike, I need your help. Can you have a one-on-one intervention with my son? I said, absolutely. You know, and I set it up, and I seen the kid, and I talked to him for a good 30 minutes. And since then, I've been texting and calling the kid every day, you know, just to check on him, to see how he's doing, to see if, you know, he went for a walk today, if he's been productive today, if he hasn't smoked weed today. You know, just to show to this kid that, you know what, by reaching out to me, I'm going to show my love. I'm going to show my love to you, and I'm going to let you know that somebody cares about you, because I know how important that is. You know, when we're left in this world all by ourselves and we got no support system, it sucks and it's painful. You know, my asphalt company today is only at the level of success that it's at because of the support system that I've built for my asphalt company. My asphalt company has a massive support system, you know, and that's why we're successful. So if we treat our life like a business, and we treat our lives knowing that the more support that we have out there, the better things can be. You know, the more you talk about it and you share it with somebody. You know, if you're too embarrassed to share your story with somebody, find that certain somebody that you can trust enough to talk to. You know, and then find somebody else, and somebody else, and somebody else, so that you have a big network out there. You know, if I ran into trouble, I know the people I can call. If I need to talk to somebody, I know who I can call. You know, and it's good to be able to have those things in place. So, look at The Man I Was Destined to Be by Michael Tandoy. And this is a book that you can buy on Amazon. You can buy it on BarnesandNoble.com. You can buy it on WestbowPress.com. If you can't afford this book and you want this book, inbox me and I will send you a free copy of the book. Okay, no questions asked. You just send me a message, say, Mike, I would love to read the book, and that's all you got to say, and I'll send you a book. I'll sign it. I'll give you a signed copy. But share this. Share my page today, and know that the sky's the limit, and that when we build a support system, life becomes limitless. And thank you so much for watching Built from Chaos.
It's that fix. Yo. Steel toes on the floor, pain under the nails. Clocked in, clocked out, still chasing these rails. Blue collar backbone, back pain, back rent. Turn the pain into plans, every scar's a percent.